horrible injustice.
I volunteered to go now, today,
Yes.
because I say, look, I'm almost 90 years of age. I might not live until the prosecution finishes its case. It was not a pyramid going up to a supreme command.
I can answer that very shortly in 2 words. It's a horrible injustice. I am my whole career I've been devoted to justice. Justice for poor people, justice for anyone, everyone. And when they formed the tribunal in The Hague, I was very pleased to be asked to go and testify against Slobodan Milosevic. So I was a prosecution witness. And I went there, I spent a few days testifying, and I saw a courtroom that was working and attempting to produce justice. A few years later, I'm told that there's a new tribunal there, and it's indicted the president of Kosovo, the speaker of the parliament, and a leader of the KLA. When I was here before that, I was critical of Hashim Thaçi, I was critical of Kadri Veseli. I had talks with Jakub Krasniqi during the war. I didn't agree with everything they were doing. I didn't agree with everything they were telling me. But what the international community has done to them in The Hague in terms of spending almost 10 years investigating their crimes. Number 2, holding them in detention for 3 years almost.
That's more than 4 years now.
Is it 4 years now?
Yes, more than 4 years, yeah.
In the United States, and I don't know if this court believes in this, but in the United States, we are very proud to say you are innocent until you are proven guilty. And if you're innocent, you're not detained. Now, there are times when you can be detained until your trial comes about. But detained for almost 4 years, you tell me, is just impossible for me to see as being just. I know a bit about how the KLA was structured. It was not a pyramid going up to a supreme command. It was a much more diverse, much more regional set of armies. They tried to present themselves as a unified army for various reasons. I understand that. But the KLA was not a perfect chain of command up to Kadri Veseli, Hashim Thaçi, Jakub Krasniqi. And after 10 years of investigation, the court must understand that. I can't imagine where they got proof, as they claim that this was a perfect military organization and those at the top were committing crimes, war crimes. Now, in the aftermath, at liberation, were there a lot of people here who wanted to take actions against people who they thought had killed their family, or a lot of violence, I'm sure. But was that ordered by these 3 men or by others? I have seen no evidence of that. And to think that to avoid anyone tampering with witnesses, or to think that Hashim Thaçi, Kadri Veseli, and Jakub Krasniqi and others, yes, if they are liberated, they're going to flee and go to seek political asylum. It's ridiculous. When the accusations from the court in The Hague came out, those 3 men resigned their posts
went to The Hague and said, here, we're here. That's not what Milosevic did. That's not what Shinovich did. And yet the court is saying we must detain them until the trial comes about, and the trial is now underway for a long time, and the defense has not presented its defense. So I think it's a very unjust prosecution. Not only unjust, I think it's unclaimed. It shouldn't have happened, but it's happened.
Yes, Mr. Ambassador, and you have been mentioned and as one of the possible witnesses for Mr. Thaçi's defense. Are you willing to testify in this trial?
Absolutely. I've been telling his lawyers, and I assume, I would go not to testify for Mr. Thaçi or Mr. Krasniqi or Kadri Veseli. I would go to try and let the court understand the context in which liberation came, and there were hundreds of thousands of Albanians outside of Kosovo hearing about what was being done to their village, to their families, to the Kosovars. And that, as I say, in the aftermath of a civil war, there is always violence. But to think that this somehow was conducted by and instructed to by the leadership of the KLA, to me, is ridiculous. And that's what I would try and paint for the court. I volunteered to go now, today,
Yes.
because I say, look, I'm almost 90 years of age. I might not live until the prosecution finishes its case. Let me come over and testify. If I have to do it in The Hague, let me, give me do a recording of my testimony. But the court apparently doesn't allow that.